Alright, what is going on my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're here with a data download informational video about this particular banner that's going to be going live on June 18th at 1900 PST time. This is pretty interesting that you can see here. You know, we're getting a brand new Sugo-Fest exclusive character. Now, this was expected. We knew he was going to be coming. We just didn't know the actual date. And it makes a lot of sense that it is this date because prior to the news time of this banner going live, the other Pirate Rumble banner with the Dex Cavendish is going to be leaving. And then this one is going to be replacing it. And you can see there in the event period in the corner that it will be lasting for 30 days. So, you know, likely scenario is once this one ends, we have the other one to replace it. Pretty much what we're expecting at this point. But yes, we have brand new Enel, the Sugo-Fest exclusive character that is going to be limited to only Pirate Rumble Sugo-Fests. Yes, it's very similar to Sanji Pudding, how you can only pull them on Kizuna Clash Sugo-Fests. Enel is only pullable on these types of banners. Now, on top of that, there are two brand new Pirate Rumble characters that we're getting on this banner as well. So you can see we have Trafalgar Law, and we have a brand new Rebecca and Toy Soldier unit. All of these units are amazing, and we're going to go through all the information regarding what these units actually do in this video today. But before we get to that, I want to talk about the steps, and we can kind of determine whether or not it's worth pulling for or not. So let's go ahead and jump in and have a look at what we have here, right? So the first multi's discounted at 30 rainbow gems, nothing really new there. That's great, we love to see the discounts. The second one gives you a guaranteed unit that is Rumble Ability and Special Level 3. Now, don't get it twisted. Some people may see this and think it's amazing. Well, yes, in some circumstances, it is good. You have to remember that this can be literally any unit in the game. This can be a regular rare recruit, it can be another legend. Any unit that has abilities and specials in Pirate Rumble can be pulled from this step, and they'll be at level 3. Now, nothing is said right now whether or not that is going to change, but looking at it at face value, that is the case. You can literally pull anything from this step. So, it might seem enticing, but you got to remember that it can legit be anything, and you shouldn't get too excited about that step, right? So, just wanted to put it out there just in case if people were expecting to see something, you might not get what you want to get on that second step. Then the third multi, Rumble Ability and Special Level 5, Sugo-Fest exclusive. So this is a much better step and gives you a higher chance to potentially pull the brand new Enel. And also on this banner, you can see in the banner artwork that V3 Akainu will also be featured on the banner. He's a really good unit. Doesn't see that much play in Pirate Rumble anymore. His abilities are just kind of mid because, you know, strength units are not super good in Pirate Rumble at the moment. But it's still nice. If you pull a legend on this banner, whichever it may be, comes with level 5 special and ability, which definitely saves you a little bit of scrolls, which is nice. Then the fourth is a 1-gem multi, which you love to see it, which is good. And then the fifth one is a guaranteed recommended character. This is actually a pretty good step, right? Because a guaranteed recommended character guarantees you one of these units. So you got the brand new Enel, you've got Rebecca Toy Soldier, Law, V3 Akainu, or Cavendish. All of these characters, one of these characters is guaranteed on the fifth step, which is actually really, really good. Personally speaking, I am going to be tempted to go to that fifth step because, I mean, on this banner, personally, just looking at it from my perspective, I only have Akainu. I don't have any of the other 4 characters. So for myself personally, that's got me really tempted to potentially sneak in Enel, so that would be really, really cool to get. Moving past that though, we have another Rumble Ability and Special character, but it comes maxed out. But remember, this can be anything, unfortunately. Then you've got a level 3 Rumble Ability and Special character. The 8th is another 1-gem multi. Then you've got another recommended character on the 9th multi. The 10th, you get a legend with max abilities and max specials, which is obviously super enticing. But then again, you know, it just cycles through these steps. Another recommended character on the 13th, one on the 17th, one on the 21st. And then if you go all the way to 25, which I strongly advise, do not do that. Under any circumstance, you should not be going to the 25th multi of this banner, but if you do, you get him guaranteed. Nothing really amazing there, but honestly speaking, I don't think this is a banner that most people should be pulling for. If you're the type of player that has the money to spend on a banner like this and you really love Enel, then go for it. But honestly, no, most people out there should be waiting for that character that I keep saying over and over and over again. Ace versus Akainu is the next character you guys should be going in for because that character is insanely powerful and is going to be very good for many, many months to come. So I highly advise waiting for that. You should probably steer clear of this banner. But what do these characters actually do? Let's go ahead over to the recommended characters and break down these brand new units. Now, this lore character is interesting because this particular unit was supposed to debut during the release of Roger and Odin. He debuted on his own Pirate Rumble banner, and actually this is really good. You can see right here for his potential abilities that he has the 2 defense damage reduction ones. That's really good. For those of you who don't know, when you level up the potential abilities of a character, it actually increases their stats in Pirate Rumble. So the fact that a unit like this has the defense ones is really good, because typically most players that I speak to will have more damage reduction tablets compared to like slotbind, critical hit, pinch healing, etc. So many players these days, especially, you know, some of the old school players, are going to have a lot of those damage reduction tablets, so maxing a character like this is going to be very easy to do. But let's talk about his abilities, of course. He's a strength free spirit slasher, so great class and type combination. Captain effect is nothing amazing. Special ability, 13 turns. He does a bit of damage to all enemies. He changes his own slot into a strength slot, and then boosts free spirit and just free spirit character slot effects by 1.75, which is not an amazing special ability, but obviously you're using him for Pirate Rumble. So in Pirate Rumble, oh dude, I didn't realize he had the hat. Ooh, that's kind of fresh. Okay, let's have a look at his ability first. So his passive effect, we'll say at level 5, strength teammates get level 5 health and level 3 defense. That's already very good. And for the first 40 seconds, slasher characters get level 5 attack. If you're building a strength team, this is probably a character you want to get. He gives himself all of those buffs because he himself is a slasher, and obviously he works well with Odin. You can run Odin on his team, and it's going to be a pretty nice synergy between those two. Sweet Commanders, for example, could also work really well because they're a strength slasher unit. So, you know, you got a good core of units coming up here. Unfortunately, I don't think they're like super amazing just together. Like that's a decent core, but there's not a lot of other units that can kind of surround them that give you enough buffs to take on some of the other more powerful teams. But it's a great ability, honestly. And his special ability, 27 CT. Targets enemies in a large range for 2 times his attack, and strength teammates get level 6 attack and level 6 speed for 20 seconds. That's not too bad at all. You know, 27 seconds is a touch on the high end, but of course if you run him alongside Odin, Odin gives your slasher characters reduced CT. I believe Sweet Commanders also do that. So with Sweet Commanders and Odin together plus this guy, you're going to be launching specials pretty quickly. So that core is going to work very well. And he's just a decent unit all round, honestly. Like, not a terrible unit at all. Definitely could see play, but unfortunately strength are not like the top echelon of Pirate Rumble units. But if I did pull this unit, I would definitely try and build a team around it because it does seem pretty interesting, right? So that's it for Trafalgar Lore. Great artwork, pretty decent in Pirate Rumble. Let's have a look at the Toy Soldier though. Now, Toy Soldier and Rebecca are another very, very interesting unit. So they are Psy, Free Spirit Shooter, Captain Effect. Doesn't really matter at this point. 13 turn cooldown, makes Strength X quick matching for 1 turn, changes your crew slots randomly unless they're matching, and halves damage taken. Like, it's a whatever special. Again, you're not using this character in regular content. Let's have a look at their Pirate Rumble stuff. The sprite looks really, really cool. Now, their passive effect, their Rumble ability, side teammates get level 6 attack, level 2 defense, and level 5 health. This is probably the best Rumble ability that we've seen from a Pirate Rumble character, honestly. This is nuts. For buffing all of your side units by that much is absurd. I mean, like, even just the level 6 attack and the level 2 defense, that's like just pretty good. But then adding level 5 health on top of that, bro, whose idea was this unit? Like, that is an insane passive effect. 22 CT, which is actually pretty low. 2 enemies get 2 times attack, that's great, and then targets enemies in a large range for level 3 defense down, also really good, and targets slasher class enemies for defense down level 5. Yes, I remember clearly what this was all about. Yeah, so with this batch of characters, we're seeing a lot of hate towards slasher characters. This is a great special with a great ability that works very well with Psy units, and what would you know? Legend Enel is also a Psy unit, so it works very, very well with them. I love this Rumble unit. This Rumble unit is very, very good. Now let's have a look at Enel. Now, Enel is going to be one of those units that, yeah, we actually want to have a look at his regular effects. His artwork is pretty crazy. His ink effect, if I remember correctly, his ink effect was actually really, really cool as well. But Enel, let's break down his regular abilities, then we'll jump over to Pirate Rumble as well. But his regular stuff, Psy-driven Striker, Captain effect of boosting Psy characters' attack by 5 times when they have a matching slot, 4.25 times otherwise, 1.3 health, Int Recovery Tandem counted as matching for your team, and launches his special ability, which is titled Absolute Power of Lightning, at the start of the quest. So very reminiscent to characters like version 1 Kaido. As soon as you start the quest, his special is launched. So what does that special do? Let's have a look. 12 turn cooldown, reduces all enemies HP by 15%, boosts crew's chances of landing on matching slot for 99 turns, reduces crew's paralysis and bind duration by 5 turns, and then boosts the color affinity of Psy characters by 2.25 times for 1 turn. Okay, that's very good. And deals 50% of the damage dealt by normal attacks by this character in this turn in non-type damage to all enemies at the end of the turn. Okay, that's pretty good. So what this means is when you're running Enel, that if that Enel hypothetically did 500,000 damage with his normal attacks, 50% of that, so 250,000 damage, is dealt as AoE damage. And that lasts, I think, for 99 turns? Yeah, at the end of each turn. I believe that's like a 99 turn buff. But you gotta remember, if you are running double Enel, that only one of the Enels is going to be able to do that end of turn damage, because it's not a part of the captain effect, it is a part of the special. And because, you know, it starts, you know, the start of the quest with, you know, the specials being active, unfortunately, it will not mean you can run like double Enel and do crazy wave clears. Only one of the Enels will. So in most cases, if you're running Enel as a captain, you'd probably want to do a hybrid team, unless if you've wanted like multiple turns of his special being active. And, you know, he's got a utility special as well. Paralysis and bind removal is great. He's going to be a great sub on a lot of teams. He does a health cut, so you can apply some certain supports to him. And he's got like that really nice wave clear mechanic with his special, which can help you get around resilience buffs on the enemy. So there's lots of things about him that can be used in different ways. So you can use him offensively, you can use him in a utility way. So I really, really like that about him. But, you know, tracking back to his captain ability, it's a really good captain effect, right? Psy are probably one of the best colors in the game. 5 times with a matching slot. You've got a health boost, and you can partner him up with Roger, of course, so you don't have to worry about your health being lost because Roger resists despair, which is fantastic. You get more matching slots, of course, with his captain effect, and with his special being active, you get a higher chance of landing on matching slots for 99 turns. Like, there's lots of things about him that I really like. He's a really solid unit, but he's not going to be like that guy that helps you clear like 100% of content in the game. I mean, there's not too many characters that can just straight up beat 100% of content in the game, but like, what I'm saying is while this character is good on paper, he's not a character that you outright need. And as I said, you know, earlier on in the video, you should probably conserve your rainbow gems until you're able to pull a character such as Ace versus Akainu, because that character is going to be infinitely more valuable to you compared to Enel here, for example. Looking at his crewmate effects though, reduces your entire team's paralysis by 1, that's fantastic, and then also will make int characters, or makes the crew's int slots have matching slot effects, so he himself will never have a badly matching slot. So great crewmate effects, honestly. As for his potential abilities, he has slot bind, reducing it by 10 turns, which is great. He has pinch healing, which is pretty typical, 1.5 below 50, and he has ship bind duration. Like, that's really odd. You don't see too many characters with that limit break ability, so it's very bizarre that he has that. And I guess it means, you know, if you're going to be using him in PvP, which is, you know, what most people would be doing, he's going to be a little bit harder to max out because not too many people are going to have a lot of shipbind tablets to go around. Myself personally, I don't even know how many I have, but still interesting. He does have a very good support though. Now, it only attaches to a Psy unit that is also driven. Now, there aren't too many characters you can attach this to. You could attach it to Ambush Linlin, Legend Germa 66, like there's a couple of Perona characters, Sanji Judge, for example. Like, there are a couple of units you can attach it to that are actually used, but what it does is great, right? Because it says that it boosts your color affinity of your Psy units by 1.5 for 1 turn as soon as you reach the final stage. So while it can only be put on a Psy-driven unit, it still gives your color affinity to all Psy units, no matter what. So that's great. It's just, it's a little bit restrictive in terms of who it can attach to, but it is a great support that will definitely see play. I love it. Now, let's actually take a look at his Pipe Rumble stuff, which is the more important thing. Now, his sprite looks immaculate. I love his regular sprite. Let's have a look at his ability first. So this is his passive. It says Psy characters get level 5 defense, level 5 speed. That's all the time. And then for the first 40 seconds, slasher characters on the enemy side of the field will get level 5 CT reduction. That is awesome. Really debuffing the slashes, of course. This is going to bring in the waves of the slasher removals. No one likes slashes no more. Enel says stop. Everyone's got to listen. And obviously this partnered up with the Rebecca and Toy Soldier, which we had a look at a little bit earlier on in this video. You can see it's a match made in heaven, a mass amount of abilities that you can use. I mean, partnering up with like Germa 66, with, you know, the two characters we talked about. Wano Law is a great choice because he has CT speed up for your Psy units. And one thing as well that we have to look at his CT. He has a 17-second CT, right? And look at what it does. All enemies are targeted for 1.1 times his attack. So it's not like a huge multiplier, but you got to remember, it's targeting all enemies, and then Psy teammates on your side of the field get level 3 defense and level 5 speed for 17 seconds. This is great, man. This unit is so good. He attacks everyone, he buffs your Psy units, he debuffs slashes, his passive is great for buffing your Psy team as well, and his resistance, he completely evades special bind and also reduces damage taken from int by 30%. So he's actually really good against Halloween Law as well. So obviously he takes less damage and he avoids the special bind. So really nice unit, man. So as I said, you know, this is going to be a great unit for, you know, running a Psy-based PvP team. If you're lucky enough to pull him, I would probably advise building a Psy-based PvP team around him, especially if you get him and Rebecca together. Such a good combination, man. But that is going to wrap up this video today. As I said, you should probably wait for Ace versus Akainu, but still a very interesting banner nonetheless. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today, and if you guys did, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.